Hey guys, Dr. Chris Park here, and we've got another episode of the Brutal Optimist podcast, where we're just talking about life, um, higher states of consciousness, optimism, positivity, getting through difficult times, and survive. Let's get started. So, the other day, this guy's telling me his story. We were sitting in a bar. I had just met the guy, and he starts telling me how he had been shot twice on the same night. How he was running down the road, blood dripping off of him, scared to death that he was about to be shot a third time. And he said he just had this one thought going through his head over and over. And it was this: just make it home to see your daughter. You see, his wife was home pregnant, and he was so scared he was going to die there and never get to see his daughter before. Well, he survived that night. He made it home, saw his daughter. He had several kids, and he goes on to tell me how his life has not been perfect, how he's made a lot of bad decisions. He said, but for some reason, by nothing more than the grace of God, his kids turned out okay. So he was happy. You know, many people are just sleepwalking through life. They're just drifting. They're taking this path of least resistance. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. Eventually, though, life will start to crush you when you're living like that. Or you'll just become so numb to anything good that you wouldn't even see it if it was in front of your face. It's like the ultimate laziness, this path of least resistance. At some point, you gotta wake up and live life like you're really alive. You know that feeling like you're dreaming, and maybe you're falling. Before you hit the ground, you wake up. A few seconds ago, you're scared to death, and now you wake up and you realize, it was a dream. I'm alive. Or you dream something horrible's happened to your kids, and you wake up and you realize, no, it's just a dream. But what do you do when it's not a dream? When life is really that difficult, when it is hard, when there doesn't seem to be any good choices. You know, some religions try to tell you that hell is a place of fire and torture and punishment. But I tell you what, hell is just taking a step in the wrong direction. And if you take too many of those steps, you're going to find yourself with a feeling that you can't get out. You know what? And maybe you didn't take the steps in the first place. Maybe you got dragged there. Maybe someone else brought you down to hell. But getting out is not going to be easy. But it is possible. You just start taking a step in the right direction. And guess what? This takes time. And a lot of people get frustrated because they say, hey, I've turned my life around, you know. I was an alcoholic. I'm not drinking anymore. I was hanging around with a bad crowd. I'm not doing that anymore. Why isn't my life getting better? It's because it takes patience and time. And if you've taken a lot of steps in the wrong direction, it's going to take a lot of steps to get out. But it's worth it. The journey's worth it. You're worth it. And I promise you, you can make it. I've seen enough people turn their life around and good things start happening to them that I'm a believer. I am a true mystic. There's no scientific evidence that I know of that says having going full forward with positivity and optimism is going to bring you things you want in life. But I still believe it's true. You know, in the Bible, in Ephesians, I believe it's 5:14, it says, "Wake, O sleeper, rise from the dead." In a more modern translation, it says, "Get up out of your coffin." And I love that. I think it's so true. That you can live your life like the living dead. But God says, wake up. Get up, get moving, get living. I mean, this life is precious. We've only got so many breaths and then it's gone. Don't waste it. Let me tell you, if you're feeling depressed, I promise you, you can get better. I promise you that there will be a day where you're going to have the energy to get out and do the things you want to do. Maybe to jumpstart this, you just go ahead and force yourself up and out. I had a patient who was having a lot of difficulty with depression and loneliness. And I told her, start living the life you want now, even if you don't have the energy to do it. Wake up in the mornings. Take a shower. Take care of yourself. Get into a routine. Go out on a few dates. Even if you don't want to. Push yourself to do something new, something challenging. And see what happens. You know, they did this study and they found that people that struggle with depression then went out and did some mountain climbing classes. It improved their depression. And this was a pretty good study and trial. And it works. And there's lots of reasons mountain climbing might do it. Okay, and I don't think all of them were actually outside a mountain. They were like doing bouldering up walls, and in a safe, controlled environment. And was it the excitement of something new? Was it the camaraderie of meeting new people, being forced outside in groups? Was it the challenge of mountain climbing, because you're always having to think about your hand placement, your foot placement, what you're going to do next? It's kind of like this, you're really focusing your mind, so you're stimulating lots of neurons, forming new bridges in your brain. Was it all of the above? I don't know. But maybe mountain climbing's not for you, but maybe there's something else. Maybe it's just pushing yourself to do something new, something challenging, even when you don't want to do it. I don't know. I'm just talking here, right? I'm just sitting here in my room right now, drinking coffee, talking into a microphone, hoping these words help inspire somebody. But you don't need inspiration. You don't need self-help. What you need is self-truth. You need to look inside yourself, figure out just who you are and just what you want. What did God make you for? What is your purpose? And start living it. Even if you don't feel like it. Even if you're tired, fatigued, sleepy, groggy. Even if your back hurts. Even if you feel abandoned by your family, even if you've been betrayed by your best friend, your wife, your husband, you've got to start living. Life isn't going to be easy. And for every story, there's another story, you know? For every guy in a bar who's been shot twice, there's a guy sitting in a bar who's been shot 3 times. For everybody who's had cancer, there's someone who had cancer and died. For everyone who had to have a foot amputated, there's someone who had to have a leg amputated. Life is hard, but it's worth it. Because there's something inside us, this will to live, this spirit, this soul, that connects us all. And this beautiful, brief existence we have binds us to it like nothing else. And God speaks to us and says, "Rise up, O sleeper. Get out of your coffin and let the light shine on you."